Crap, penalties. Liverpool out, PSG through. Is the Premier League as good as what we think? Why are our top Premier League teams all dropping out so early in the Champions League? Has the rest of Europe overtaken English teams? Liverpool, last 16. City not even making the last 16. And then all of a sudden you've got Arsenal and Aston Villa, who are failing in the Premier League and not doing that good this season, smashing it and going through. Is it the quality of opposition? No. Are Arsenal going to falter to Athletic or to Real Madrid when that game comes around? Will Villa progress? Well, one thing you could say is that the cohesion is not looking good for English teams right now in Europe. Two of England's most successful teams over the last 6 years out already. And Liverpool were off it last night, I thought, in front of goal. They gave as good as they got, and that game could have gone either way. But PSG, you just thought always had it in the bag. They were always one step ahead. Like they knew they could up the gears. They are a quality side. And to be honest, I think over the two legs deserve to go through. And I don't think any Liverpool fan would argue that point. As much as Liverpool huffed and puffed last night, off days for Jota, Núñez is what he is. He isn't good enough. I thought Diaz was off it. Indecisive in front of goal, I thought. Liverpool's midfield, solid. Absolutely brilliant. Defence, rock solid again. Not giving hardly anything away. One of the best goalkeepers on the planet in Alisson. But when you've got all of that and you still can't make the last 16, and let's be honest, PSG have been a team that have failed year on year in the Champions League. Have they overtaken the Premier League teams right now? That's England's best in Liverpool. They are winning the Premier League this season, and they have just been taken out in the last 16. Let that sink in a little bit. Like, obviously, it's unlucky that you get someone like PSG. They had a bobbing start to the tournament, and they've come through the draw the other side. And Liverpool have been a little bit unlucky in a way. But would Liverpool have beaten PSG later down the line? I don't think so. PSG are a phenomenal outfit, and they have got a quality side. And I thought they had Liverpool in their back pocket. And last night, yes, it was a bit more awkward. Liverpool had more pressure. You'd expect that at Anfield, but PSG just looked like they had two more gates to go through when necessary. And losing 4-1 on penalties can go either way, we know this. But you just know that them European teams, when Donnarumma is set in goal, they won the coin toss. They're in the goal where the PSG fans are. And you just knew, didn't you? You knew that was it. It was going to be all over when that penalty shootout started. Donnarumma is a penalty saving, master. He is brilliant. We all know what he did to England. We all know how that ended up for us. And he did the same last night. Don't think the penalties were that bad. Obviously, more bad news for Liverpool with Trent Alexander-Arnold going down injured as well. Are Liverpool just running out of steam? Is it just too much? Yes, I think they will win the Carabao Cup. And yes, they will win the league. And it has been a successful first season for Arne Slot. But the main question, like I said at the top of the video, is how far behind are English teams when it comes to the Champions League right now? Are we that bad? Do we feel like we are better than what we actually are? Because I looked at the quality on the pitch for PSG, and as good as Liverpool are, PSG looked like they were the better team throughout the whole tie. First leg and second leg. I thought they got the early goal. Mistake from Liverpool, I thought, in defending that goal. And I thought that was set up then. I didn't see any winner other than PSG from that point. And I thought Liverpool, if Liverpool would have carried on in that game, not conceded early, I thought Liverpool would have taken it. And I said this after the first leg. I thought Liverpool were destined to go on in this Arne Slot first season and win everything. I thought that's what was going to happen, but clearly not. PSG have other ideas. Luis Enrique is a fantastic coach, and he has got that team and the quality in that team playing brilliant football. When you're bringing on the likes of Ramos, it's scary to think you're bringing on Desiree Doué, who they signed for 50 million off the bench. That's depth, that's quality. Kvaratskhelia, who they brought in January, is an absolutely world-beating player. But Liverpool had no answer at all. And did Slot get it wrong last night? Or did these Liverpool players actually just melt on the big stage? Which is surprising because I had them down as winning it. At Anfield, I thought it was there. I thought it was done. The form that they've been in this season, everything that they've accomplished under Slots, how solid they are, how resilient they are, they didn't seem to have it last night. They didn't. And it just feels like it's coming to an end prematurely this season for Liverpool before it's really got exciting. And it kind of is a little bit boring, isn't it? Like, overall, like the Premier League and everything that's going on, and the teams now at the top of the Premier League being out of the Champions League. I mean, credit to Villa and Arsenal. They will probably go on tonight and secure their places in the last 8. But honestly, can't see them going any further than that. And that's it. That's the Premier League over and done. It's elimination time for the Premier League teams. And like I said, I've got no allegiance to Liverpool at all, as everybody knows. But it just feels like we've lost something. And without even realising it, we have fallen behind. And the proof was there in Liverpool's performance last night. No matter how much quality they've got on the pitch, they knew, and it looked like they knew they weren't going to win that game. It always looked like it was PSG's game. From that goal going in, it looked like it was over. It didn't matter what happened. Like, Donnarumma made some alright saves, but let's be fair, Alisson again, without him, the tie is done, isn't it, for Liverpool? And that tells you everything you need to know. Liverpool were lucky enough to get that goal from Harvey Elliott in the first leg in Paris, but it just wasn't to be. And I think that is the case for all of the English teams in Europe. I do. I just don't think we're as good as what we think we are. And we've been caught up without realising it, whether it's down to recruitment, whether it's the way that European teams run their leagues. And you look at how fresh sides are and how much break they get from their own domestic league going into European ties, and their leagues actually helping out their teams in European competitions. I know the German teams do it a lot. They fixture things up so they can have a little bit more rest time. Liverpool just looked like they ran out of steam to me last night, and they never looked like they thought they were going to win the game. And that's something that I'd never thought I'd say for Liverpool, but that's how it came across to me. Then players looked tired in the end, yes, in extra time and everything like that. But the Premier League season again, and the intensity of the competition, and where, like I've just said, like other European teams are taking over us, it's just in Europe, and every single European league across the board has 2 or 3 really good teams that are prospering from being able to have them games off because their leagues are not as strong. And Liverpool are suffering for being so good. They just look like they didn't have that extra little bit last night because it's been such a demanding season already. What Liverpool have done has been brilliant this season and being as consistent as they are. But really, when you look at it, they just ran out of steam and they didn't have that extra bit of edge. I do believe it's down to the way that the programmes worked and how difficult the Premier League is. Where it is the best league in the world and the hardest league in the world, it definitely doesn't have the best teams. And unfortunately, them other leagues are all built upon 2 or 3 decent teams in each league. And in Paris Saint-Germain's case, 1. Because they walk it every single season, don't they? There's been the odd occasion where there's been this anomaly and they haven't won it. But let's be honest, like, they can take weeks off and we can't in the Premier League. And I think Liverpool have been a victim of it. I thought PSG were the better side. I thought they deserved to go through. Get into the comments section and let me know. Have we been overtaken? Do we actually have the best teams in Europe now? Or has the likes of Manchester City been shown up by Real Madrid? Liverpool being battered in that first leg in particular and really not laying too much of a glove on PSG at Anfield either. Has it shown that the best teams across Europe are getting it easier and are able to compete in the Champions League to a different intensity than what the Premier League teams are? Comment below, let me know what you thought of that game last night. But Liverpool are out, City are out, Aston Villa and Arsenal are only hopes in Europe. That feels strange.